तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार, उदासी मन काहे को करे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार, उदासी मन काहे को करे। काहे को डरे रे, काहे को डरे, काहे को डरे रे, काहे को डरे, काहे को डरे। राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार, उदासी मन काहे को करे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार, उदासी मन काहे को करे। तेरा राम जी। नैया तेरी राम हवाले, लहर लहर हरि आप संभाले। नैया तेरी, नैया तेरी राम हवाले, लहर लहर हरि आप संभाले। अरे आप ही उठावे तेरा भार, उदासे मन काहे को करे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार, उदासे मन काहे को करे। तेरा राम जी। Hi, good morning all. Good morning all, welcome to another video of co-creating your reality, attracting into your life that which you deserve and desire through aligning yourself with the spiritual laws of the universe, through attaining spiritual union, which is yoga, which is union with oneself and union with God, and through the balancing or harmonizing of your internal qualities or your internal opposing qualities or your masculine and feminine energies within you in order to produce a healthy human being, so that the following generation or your descendants can be healthier human beings than your ancestors or the previous generations were, right? So this is all done through taking right action, teaching right action, right? But more so just simply aligning yourself with the spiritual laws of the universe, also known as the yamas and the niyamas, right? Aligning with the natural spiritual laws of the universe and creating a God-centered relationship or relationships that places the creator at the center of it, such that you strive to live a life that strays as little as possible from that straight and narrow pathway of the yamas and the niyamas, which are laws, moral guidelines that has been here from since time immemorial, and all that we are being asked to do is to align our behavior and practices and actions and belief systems with these moral rules in order to create a freer, spiritually free society, right? So in this space we also discuss issues that people have struggled to discuss and talk about, things that people think about but refuse to speak out loud, right? And this may surround larger issues regarding principles, or it might be issues in a smaller dynamic, micro dynamic, which is day-to-day living experiences in terms of partnerships, in terms of things that people do on a day-to-day basis, or how we behave on a day-to-day basis. It all boils down to simply examining oneself and the willingness to change oneself in order to change the society in which we reside, because free will or choice is ever present. Free will or choice is ever present, and the choice is ours, whether we wish to remain at our present state of evolution or if we want to change ourselves in order to maximize our true potential here on earth before we leave this earthly plane, right? So overall, so far, my videos has been about breaking generational curses with regard to relationships based on by teaching and learning from the lessons that we have learned as a collective on our experiences during our experiences here on earth, and not only that, but learning from the experiences of the past generation and combining those two in order to learn and teach all the possible lessons in order to create healthy relationships going forward, right? Now this involves a lot of things. It involves rewiring your brain, thinking about your belief systems and so on, and changing those systems, right? So this also breaking generational curses and so on also involves this whole concept of chosen souls and all these things, right? For example, and this is what I'm going to talk about today, because the title of my discussion today is the death of the mythological Raam and Sita, the official death, right? The death of the mythological Raam and Sita, right? Now, this might come off as blasphemous to, like, for example, mainstream Hindus who might be looking at my videos and so on, and who celebrate Ram Navami and the day Lord Ram was born, and who worship Lord Ram as a historical or mythological or religious figure or as an idol, and all these things, right? This might come across as blasphemous to you, but true evolution involves examining your belief systems and thinking about whether or not these practices really do make sense at the end of the day, right? And this discussion is called the death of the mythological Ram and Sita, because that whole ideology or that whole idea was for a particular time period in our history, and the most we can do is to take the lessons from which we will learn from them, take the lessons we learned from what they represented and move on with our lives. Take the lessons that we were taught from the concept of their relationship, right? And implement it in our lives, right? That is what we should have been doing all along, right? Because if you ask me, it does not make sense going to the temple, going to a place of worship once a week, worshiping the idols, worshiping an idol of Ram and Sita, and then you coming back home and betraying or violating the niyamas. For example, you cooking meat every day, or even now you engaging in practices that blatantly go against the philosophy of your own spiritual systems, right? So the death of the mythological Ram and Sita is about breaking cycles, is about closing cycles, breaking cycles, closing cycles in the right timing, and the timing is now, right? In order to initiate into a new phase in history, right? To initiate into a new phase in time, right? Where Ram and Sita, who was previously chosen souls, Ram and Sita would have been chosen souls incarnated. They would have led in the golden age and so on, right? Whether they were real or not, I don't really care, right? It's not concerned, right? But the point is, there are a wide host of people who continue to worship the mythological Ram and Sita rather than implementing the lessons that they were here to teach, right? So this death of the mythological Ram and Sita concerns breaking that idea or that tradition that you must worship these figures, right? You need not worship these figures, right? If anything, if they were alive today, I can bet that what they would want is for you to integrate the lessons of the difference between what is right and wrong, right? Integrate into your consciousness the difference between that which is right and wrong, or align yourself with natural spiritual law, or the part of the straight and narrow part of the yamas and the niyamas, right? Implement those practices into your life and move forward. Because for as long as you remain in the spiritual evolutionary phase of, worshiping the idols or worshiping this whole concept of the mythological Raam and Sita of the past, you actually do become, and Hindus might get vexed with me for saying this, but it needs to be said and somebody needs to say it, right? Nothing is wrong with the idols or the murtis if they help you to remember particular concepts or what these figures represented, and how you can, because I have a murti of Lakshmi in my car, which reminds me that, hey, I have an inner goddess within me, right? So nothing is wrong with it from that standpoint, but in terms of actually worshipping these figures, it does not make sense doing so if you are not aligned with the spiritual laws that they incarnated to teach, right? So people might wonder, oh, well, I'm talking about this, but I'm starting up every one of my video with a religious song, right? So even today, I started my video with a song about Ram, right? Now, people might say I'm being a hypocrite, or this is I'm going against what I'm saying, but I'll explain why I sing the religious songs. First of all, I've spoken at length with regard to Sanskrit syllables actually helping the earth to heal itself by emitting a particular frequency, and also helping us to heal or create balance within ourselves as one. And secondly, I believe in a concept of Raam and Sita. I do believe in a concept of Raam and Sita, right? Even though I'm speaking about the death of the mythological Raam and Sita today, I do still believe and will continue to believe in the concept of Raam and Sita, being that every person on the face of the planet has the potential or the capacity to rise to become a Ram, to rise to become a Sita. And me singing a song about Ram is literally basically just seeing the Ram or seeing the Sita in everybody who is looking at my videos, right? Everyone who are looking at my video series, seeing the potential to be Ram-like or Sita-like, and rising to the occasion and rising to that call upon your life to rise to a Ram-like status, or rise to a Sita-like status, spiritual status, right? And this can be done by anybody, right? So Raam and Sita is not different from you and I, right? This can be done by anybody, and all it takes is to take the necessary action and make the behavioral changes in your life and implement their teachings, and you can rise to become Ram-like or Sita-like through the application of those changes in your life, which involves creating as less harm as possible whilst you are present here on earth, which is just for a fleeting moment in time, to walk lightly on the earth and cause as little harm as possible, right? Defend yourself when necessary, of course, but if nobody is harassing you, stop causing harm to others, right? Stop hurting others unnecessarily, and stop contributing to organizations that engage in this type of behavior as well, right? For the sake of the wider population, for the sake of the earth, right? So this is what the conversation is about today, the death of the mythological Raam and Sita. And just a couple things going forward. I've been making videos like practically every day, if not every other day, right? But going forward, I will be making videos bi-weekly, which is twice a week, Wednesdays and Saturdays. And I will be starting a new series called saving yourself. Saving yourself because this might be a harsh reality for some to accept, but there's nobody coming to save you. There's nobody coming to save you. There's no savior coming to save you. You have to actually save yourself. So I will be presenting from a very basic level. How can you save yourself? Which is no different from the information I've been presenting before, but breaking it down a little bit further. How can you go about changing your behavior in order to save yourself? Because nobody is coming to save you.